Hi. So today we're gonna talk about what else we can do in order to improve our gameplay without actually putting much effort or paying much money for it. So I have prepared like top 10 things for you, and I'm gonna start from the most important one, in my opinion, which will improve your score overall in on each song involving the long notes. So the first thing we're sort of falling for is the suggestion by the game where we should tap. So I bet every single one of us playing with thumbs, starting from this place, when very shortly you'll notice on long notes that it's actually good to see the horizontal bar on them. So you might start playing here. The trick is that the place when you touch your phone, the actual place, it's not as small as you touching it. The circle is much greater. So what happens is as low you can get, as more points you overall collect on that note. So the idea is that you want to play here. So below the actual perfect line. So by playing this way, you can actually see the horizontal line, especially on the long notes, which very often are straight on the rhythm or a little bit behind. But we're gonna get to that in a second. So try to retrain yourself rather from playing here to play lower. All right. This is sort of really important in terms of especially doing a bigger scores like perfect diamonds and getting close to those, because very often we fail on the long notes just purely because instead of playing here we play here, and this is the amount of points you're not getting. So that's number one. Point number two, this is what I was saying before. You have to be aware that there are rhythm and vocal patterns. So the rhythm pattern will be dead on the rhythm, also depending from your syncing. But let's assume that it's correct and it's on the beat. So the rhythmical patterns will be dead on the beat, while the vocal ones might start a little bit later. So you don't want to play right, that's straight on the beat. You want to be delaying it with a tiny little syncope. Playing also with sync around that helps, especially if you hit the wall. And this is another thing I want to say that will be our top three. When you hit a wall, check your sync, because this is usually when you're getting a bit faster with your time of reaction and coordination, and now you're beating the actual sync of your game with your speed. So then all you have to do is just add 10 to the speed you have and you should be sweet. All right, another important thing that will be our top four is the way we're holding the phone. I'm actually gonna use one of my cases, because that will help us to see better. So generally, I have big hands, and that sort of forced me to try to figure out another way of holding my phone. It also depends from biomechanics of movement. Sometimes for me, playing this way, it requires too much effort from my muscles than playing here. Now, having big hands and having a small phone, what I figured that it's if you place it like this on your fingers using your index fingers to stabilize it, you can use your pinkies to bring it closer here. So for example, when you have songs requiring triple quick ones, pardon my English, that's for me this is the easiest way to actually get them done and be able to do it without forcing your muscles to exhaustion. Another way I'm using it, something like here. So I'm dropping my phone on my pinky, pushing it towards my hand, so I'm actually able to hold the phone like that. Then I push my index this way, those two fingers underneath, and this is how I play. Sometimes when the phone slides down and my pinky gets tired of holding it, I just go this way to be able to play like that. This is for people with big hands who sort of can't figure out how to do it. Try to play this way. Seriously, it feels very fragile. It feels very fragile, and it feels that you might drop it. But it's actually, if you get used to using very little amount of pressure and movement, you can get used to, holding it quite, how to say it, stably. So the phone is more stable in your hold. There you go. All right. Another thing I find really important, guys, are finger sleeves. I purchased those online. They cost approximately £1, maybe two. If you find something more than £5 with some weird descriptions, with some weird nets and kind of weird silver technology allowing you to have better contact with the surface, this is all gibberish. Just, it's finger sleeves. Very, very simple. There's nothing fancy about them. It's just polyester thingy on your finger, preventing you to put a moisture from your sweat onto the surface of your phone. Therefore, when you know you know what I'm talking about, when your fingers get stuck and it's kind of especially on the arrows, there is no fraction. You just touch. My wife and I will have a problem sometimes that we're too gentle and the phone doesn't doesn't recognize the pressure, because we're so used to having minimum amount of pressure on the phone. Also, if you have nails and you're used to hitting the phone with your nails, notice you should have 3 dots already scratched over your phone, over the surface of your phone, if you don't have any protective cases and stuff like that, which this is another point. In terms of protective glass, there are two types. There is full glue and not full glue. Full glue means that the whole surface of the phone, the glass is being attached to with the full surface being glued to. Not full glue means that if you see the black edge here, that's when the protection glass is being glued to. What that means is that this surface is not necessarily sticking to it. So I had it done on my phone and I had to remove it because I couldn't play the game. I was consistently having missed notes. Also, cases like that, especially the cheap ones, don't rely on them. Just take your phone out. It will avoid you a lot of frustration and negative energy. So all the uncertain, glass protections, remove it. Anything which covers your front and you're not certain that it's absolutely completely stick to the phone, and if you have a lot of missed notes, that might be the major reason. All right, another thing which helps me a lot, it's the background light off. So whenever I'm playing, I'm trying to have it switched off, just because your eye really can focus on the patterns and everything. As well as my messenger and notifications in my phone are switched off. Messenger, I've noticed, consumes a lot of internet usage, and that makes micro kind of delays on the song patterns. I'm not sure how you feel it. I kind of find that really irritating, so it won't gone as soon as I switch my messenger off. Next thing will be, guys, the coordination. Remember that it takes time, and this game is more about, maybe I put something in front so it's something exciting, it's not just like a radio. But in terms of coordination, all you have to do is take your time. You don't really have to pay actually attention. It's all about the repetition. It's like with muscle memory, when you have to repeat a technique 2,000 to 3,000 times in correct way in order to get it as a habit. Same thing happens here. First of all, you want to learn the pattern. Second of all, you want to get used to with your muscles to all the rhythms. Third of all, you want to actually find comfort with it, so you can adjust them to the actual rhythms they're being placed to, because that's two different things. So remember, this takes time, and all you have to do is practice regularly, not for a long time. Don't get frustrated. Negativity doesn't really help. That's the 10 of our top 10. Negativity doesn't really help your coordination, because it takes your focus off recognizing all the details you need to have in order to get the patterns and eventually have fun with it. So breathe, relax, and have fun. All right, thanks for watching. I hope it helped. If you have any feedback, please leave it in comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content of this sort. Thanks, guys. Take care and have fun.